She slipped into his bunk in the dark. The alien princess only wanted his warmth, Captain Jake. Miller felt the cold metal of his bunk against his back as he tried to sleep. Aboard the research vessel Aurora 7. The ship drifted through the outer rim of the Kepler system, where his crew had been studying the dying planet Zephyria for 3 months now. The Zephyrians were a proud race with skin like polished silver and eyes that held the wisdom of centuries. Their world was freezing to death as their sun slowly dimmed. Most humans avoided contact with the aliens, but Jake believed they deserved help. Princess Lyra was different from her people. While other Zephyrians stood 7 feet tall with muscular frames, she was smaller and more delicate. Her silver skin had a softer glow and her violet eyes seemed to see right through him. During their diplomatic meetings, tonight something was wrong. The ship felt colder than usual and Jake could hear strange sounds echoing through the corridors. He had dismissed most of his crew to the planet's surface for research, leaving only a skeleton team aboard. A soft whisper of movement made him freeze. Someone was in his quarters. Jake pretended to sleep as he felt the mattress shift beside him. A warm presence slid under his blanket and he caught the scent of starflowers that always surrounded Princess Lyra. Her voice was barely audible when she spoke. "I am sorry, human. Jake, but my body temperature drops too low in your metal ship." He turned slowly to face her in the darkness. Even without light, her silver skin gave off a faint luminescence. She was trembling despite being so close to him. "Your people generate much heat," she continued. "My sensors detect you maintain 98.6 degrees while we struggle to reach 60 degrees in this environment." Jake realized she was not here for romance or politics. She was literally dying from the cold. Zephyrian biology required constant warmth to survive, and their failing sun meant they could no longer regulate their body temperature properly. "You should have told me," he said softly, pulling his thermal blanket over both of them. "Pride runs deep in royal blood," she whispered. But survival runs deeper. As the night continued, Jake learned more about the Zephyrian crisis. Their people were not just losing their world. They were losing their ability to live anywhere else. The cold of space travel was killing them slowly. Princess Lyra explained how her father, the king, had sent her to negotiate with humans, not for territory or resources, but for something more basic. They needed warm places to live. They needed the heat that human worlds provided. "Your species fascinates us," she said as Jake shared his body warmth with her. "Humans adapt to any environment. You create heat where none exists. You survive in conditions that would kill most species." Jake understood now why the negotiations had been so difficult. The Zephyrians were not trying to conquer or trade. They were refugees asking for sanctuary. But their pride prevented them from simply asking for help. The princess moved closer to him and he could feel her body temperature slowly rising. Her silver skin felt smooth against his arm and her breathing became more regular. "Tomorrow, I must return to my people and tell them what I have learned about humans," she said. "You are not the warriors we expected. You are healers." Jake knew this moment would change everything between their species. When morning came, Princess Lyra would have to choose between her royal duties and her people's survival. As dawn approached through the small porthole, Jake made his decision. "Tell your father that humanity offers sanctuary," he said quietly. "We have warm worlds and the technology to help your people adapt." Lyra lifted her head to look at him with those violet eyes. "And what do humans want in return?" "Nothing," Jake replied, "except the chance to prove that different species can help each other survive." In this cold universe, Princess Lyra smiled for the first time since Jake had met her. It was the expression that transformed her alien features into something beautiful and hopeful. When she left his quarters that morning, Jake knew the real negotiations were just beginning. But for the first time, he believed they might actually save the Zephyrian people. 3 hours later, Princess Lyra stood before the human diplomatic team with new confidence in her voice. She spoke of partnership instead of desperation and hope instead of pride. Captain Jake Miller watched from his command chair as two species took their first real step toward understanding each other. It had started with something as simple as sharing warmth in the darkness, but it would grow into something that could save an entire civilization. The Zephyrian princess had slipped into his bunk seeking only heat to survive, but she had found something far more valuable. She had discovered that humans were willing to share their warmth with anyone who needed it, even alien royalty from dying worlds. As the Aurora 7 prepared to escort the Zephyrian fleet to New Terra, Jake realized that sometimes the most Important diplomatic breakthroughs happened not in conference rooms but in quiet moments when two beings simply helped each other survive another night among the stars.